Recording resumed. Thank you for coming back. So we are continuing where we stopped. And where we stopped, just here. So Adana was trying to, you know, explain, give us the literal meaning of gravity's pull resolved the issue. And you can see the way I started it. This is how you're meant to write it. The writer has used the phrase, there should be a comma here, gravity's pull resolve the issue, which means by the time you're giving us that, then you're going into the literal meaning of the phrase. That is what is required. Okay, so please, can you send the recording to my email? Yes, I'll do that. Remember that the previous recordings, I sent it to the WhatsApp platform. So you already have the previous recordings, okay? And one thing I do is this. I try not to make the recordings public on YouTube. It's only one recording that I've made public. I try to make them unlisted. And what that means is this: only those having the links to the videos can access the videos, not the general public. Okay, so fine, I would also send it to you guys. Okay, thank you so much. Now, Prince George was trying to add something, and I liked what he was trying to add. So, which means that Wusani, after hurriedly climbing up the tree, fell down. Then Prince George gave us this. Let's now expand on this. This is the way you have to respond. Her fall. So you now say her fall. I'm trying to capture what he said. Her fall. Apparently, okay, you could use this. It's my choice of word. Apparently, shows the verity. Don't mind me, the way I use words, okay? The verity in the law of gravity, which says, which states that, should I say states? Yeah, which states that anything which goes up, okay, must come down. Some students have cried in the class and they've been like, sure, these guys expect us to write up to 200 words. So what are we going to explain? How are we going to get the words to get up to the word count? And I tell them something, take your time. Look at now, how many words do we have here? We have many words here. We've not even gone to explaining the implied meaning, the suggested meaning. No, we haven't. So you take it slowly and try to contextualize what you're explaining. Interpret the context, okay? Tie it to the context. So the writer has used the phrase, gravity's pull resolve the issue, which means that Wuzani, after hurriedly climbing up the tree for fear of the lions, you have to attach all of such, fell down. Her fall apparently shows the verity, the truth, that's verity, in the law of gravity, which states that anything which goes up must come down. So thank you. We have achieved number one, process number one. Step two. Now I want to move to step three. Adana, please, you need to finish this. Another student would have to take the other, all right? So Adana, you're muted. So how would you now express the implied meaning?
Okay, I will express the implied meaning as it was her fault that made like the whole to end.
Please do me a favor, okay? Give your response a think, okay? And give it to me the way you would write it. Do you understand? I'm trying to write from your own, perspective. Do you get?
Perspective.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting.
Okay. Yes. You can say that it was because she fell. Okay, that's what resulted to the. Sorry, can you go back to the passage where it talks about like bikini? Because I need to actually read it up.
Sure. Here.
Wait, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, where she fell, you have 1, 2, okay, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6. Go to the 6th. Sorry, the last but one sentence, the last but one sentence, finally, the last but one sentence in the paragraph. Have you seen it?
Okay, yes.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so it was because she after she fell, that's what saved her from harm. That's what we're going to like reply to.
Is that
From
the
it took her
implied?
out of harm's way.
Yeah, is that the implied meaning that you have?
Yeah, now because if she didn't fall, then how would she like have gotten away from the lions and everything?
Okay. Now let me try to refresh you guys, memories regarding how to approach the, implied meaning. Please, if you have anything to say regarding this implied meaning, please, if you don't want to speak and you don't want to raise your hand, please chat. Okay, chat me up. All right. Now I would remind you. Let's assume that I've used this example often, okay, repeatedly. Now you have a forest having so many trees, and then you told that the trees there, okay, are walls around, our walls are like Egyptian or Roman ramparts, okay, around the forest. Now, if you have used such language that way, okay, such words that way, depicting trees to be walls, fencing the forest, the wide, okay? Now, what does it suggest when a writer uses words in that fashion? What does it suggest to you as a student? It could tell you, I'll just remind you what I said earlier. It could tell you that, this place is impenetrable. It's a place that people can't enter. And if at all people penetrate this place, it's not going to bode well for them because it's going to be dangerous. Do you understand? They could lose their life. Just as you saw in the video, how that the American woman lost her life because she just said to go on a tour, okay, in the safari, and she lost her life just like that. Do you understand? So try to think out of the box. It means the place is not a place that people should visit because it is dangerous. Dangerous things are within its, let me use precincts. Do you understand? So Adenda, that is the way you should approach the suggested meaning. Okay, let me ask some other person. Let's hear from others. Martin, please, do you have anything to say about the suggested meaning for this particular one that we're handling? Do you have anything?
No, I think what you said is okay.
All right, thank you. Okay, the last person I'm gonna call, please unmute yourself, Divine. Thank you. All right, do you have anything to say to this?
She hasn't muted herself.
Divine, please unmute yourself. Okay, I guess. Ayomide, do you have anything to say? Okay, because of time. All right, thank you. So then now you've given us that, but how do you express it? That is one thing that matters. Okay, let's go this way. You now say something, you start like this. The phrase or the use of the phrase suggests that. Okay, so you need to use that suggests, or you use implies that, or you use another word, connotes. Connotes. We have what we call denotation and connotation. Denotation has to do with the literal meaning. Connotation has to do with the meaning drawn from the association of the word, the environment of the word, the context of the word. Okay, so gravity's pull resolved the issue. Okay, so we could say something like, Adana had already pointed it out before, how ludicrous it was, how humorous that was actually the way this person has been portrayed, Wusani has been portrayed. Gravity's pull, boom. Okay, so just fell down. So you could mention something like that. Adana, do you buy that line of thought?
Pardon?
Do you buy that line of thought?
Yes, I do.
You do. Okay. Now I'll put ellipses here. Why? Because I'm trying to help you guys to do this on your own. Eventually, I'm going to take you guys to the mark scheme so that you now know what is expected. You say, okay, I taxed my brain, but I couldn't get this. Wow, this is what is expected of me. Okay, this is the way I do it. So we'll put ellipsis here and move to the second one, which is improbably patched. Improbably patched. So we are picking that one. It's just these three that we explain, and then we're done with the lesson. Okay, I'll send you guys the video. I'll just send the YouTube link. That's better. So this is number 2. So who is going to explain this one? You give us the literal meaning and then the implied meaning. Who's going to do that for us? Any volunteer before I pick on somebody? All right. Let's see if Prince George could help out. Okay, Prince George. So how would you express this? How would you begin?
Well, I think how she got stuck on the tree. And probably the tree was the branch was very thin.
Please, probably. I need you. Yeah, thank you. But I need you to follow the process. Do you understand? We have a process here. All right. So you're starting with words. We've already identified the word on the phrase. So what is the literal meaning? So you tell us the phrase means. Do you understand? Okay. All right. Thank you.
So the phrase means, well, I'm not sure, but I'm not actually sure.
Okay.
So can I?
All right. He's not. Okay. Before.
I'm sure about that thing.
All right. Who is the person that spoke just now? Who was the person that spoke? Who? Divine.
Okay.
Okay. No, Divine. Before you speak, I'm sorry. Please, could you just let Prince George spill out what he has in his mouth, even if it's a guess? Yeah, a guesswork. Let him just try. Prince George, just give it a try.
Well, I feel like it's to be able to balance on something or someone.
All right. Okay. I have to refer you guys to the passage where from it is drawn. So let's see, where is it? Okay, we're told that returning later, the truck driver found Wusani improbably perched on the outermost branches. Okay, this one says outermost branches of a long dead tree. It means in your explanation, you need to capture all of such. Don't just consider only the phrase. Look at the entire sentence. On the outermost branches, the one pointing out, sticking out, of a long dead tree. And that tells you the deadness of the tree. Tells you how dangerous, how precarious it is to actually be perched on it. So how would you now express it, Prince George?
That means like the branches were very thin and they were not stable.
Okay, so let's start from, the known to unknown, okay? The little to the bigger. So how do we start this? We now say the writer has used the phrase improbably perched, okay? Which tells us, you are trying to explain what it means on the surface, okay? Which tells us that Wusani climbed. You could still use hurriedly, but we could just stop to use that. So climbed up the tree when she bumped into the lion. Okay, she did this. You're trying to expand on it. She did this out of fear. Okay. All right. So what did you say earlier? I want to add that now to expand on this.
She climbed on a very thin branch because of how dead the tree is.
Thank you. So you could now say surprisingly, okay, she sits, okay, on a branch. Let me use a weak branch of a long dead tree. Then try to tell us, explain the danger in doing this. Okay? So this presents a precarious, or you use dangerous, okay? Dangerous position. Because if she falls, if that branch breaks, what would happen to her? That big buttocks, sorry to use that, okay, it will just hit the ground. And it could be that a sharp stick, okay, or just sharp wood could be on the ground there. I could pierce her body, her flesh, and that's it. It's a dangerous one. It's like standing on the edge of a precipice. It's quite dangerous. Okay, now, what do you think this suggests? We have given the literal meaning. We've presented that. What do you think it suggests? That's the last part now.
So that she went to the furthest. That means that at any moment the branch could break, and
Okay.
she went to the furthest branch she could, because they said, because from the sentence it showed that she went to the top, like the highest parts of the tree, so
Yeah.
that the lion could not get her.
Okay. So, okay, by simply mentioning that it's a dangerous position, okay, in a wee bit, or let me say a wee bit captures the implied meaning, a wee bit. Divine, okay, thank you, Prince George. Divine, please, could you now add yours, the suggested meaning?
Oh,
Yeah.
like improbably perched, like about the word improbably means like to be in an unexpected or like an unlikely manner, and perched means to be like sitting on something, like a bird, like
Okay.
perched or something, like sitting on something high or something narrow like that.
Okay.
So that phrase can tell us that, you know, she was hung precariously from the dead branch.
All right. Okay. So, do you have anything? Now, I need you guys to do what we call deconstruction. You're trying to look at the words that have been used. You need to be critical. Now, look at perched. First question is what perches on trees? Okay. So, Divine, what actually perches on trees?
Birds.
Birds. That's it. So that alone would simply give you the implied meaning, okay? So that you just hit it on the head. You now tell us that this phrase, okay, has further been used, okay, to unfavorably compare Wusani to a bird, because only birds should perch. So it's the phrase has been used unusually since the should I say that which is done by birds is now attributed to a human being. So that is it. So this is what we expect from you. And how do we mark? For the phrase identification, you have something like half a mark. And then for the literal meaning, you have another half. For the implied meaning, you have half. Three of them bunched together to give you 1 mark. Okay, quickly, let's go to the last one. I'm sorry to have taken your time. The last one is unpleasantly surprised. Divine, you picked this and you need to explain it. Do you get? Because if I were the one, I would pick the ones that I could easily explain. Do you understand? Okay, Divine, you ready?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay, I will take you to the sentence from which it was drawn so that you better know how to go about it. So this is here, number 3. Okay, this is the last one we're doing before we call it a day. So we go to the sentence where from we have this. Okay, so you can see it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4. The 4th sentence. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you read out the sentence before we explain?
Once after being dropped off to light the cooking fire, she'd been unpleasantly surprised by the roar of a lion.
All right, thank you. Are you set now?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. So let's now go. Okay, so what do you have to say?
So the literal meaning is like if you break apart the words, like a surprise is usually something that like shocks you, but it's good. But to like explain the second word to really like I don't know how to like put the word
Just
like to make us like understand her situation. The word presently is put in front of it.
okay. Let me just come. Come in, please. Let me just. Okay, unpleasantly surprised is another phrase. Okay, I just tried to construct it in a different way. Okay, it's another phrase used by the writer. Okay, so what's the literal meaning now? Give it to me so that I would type.
It's the phrase used to describe her like shock at the lion's roar.
Okay, to describe her shock. Okay, right, shock.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's like unpleasant put before surprise to make sure that we know like her dismay at the like the situation.
Okay, she never expected, okay, to to encounter it, okay, encounter it. These overtly, bears her, you said dismay, right?
Yeah.
Dismay and calm emotion. Okay, unpleasantly surprised. So it's something unexpected. She never expected it,
Oh my
but
god,
she
are you
bumped
following
into it.
okay, no, just to go for picnic. But we're thinking I'm going to go and buy food. Oh my god. Oh, I just need
Adana,
that British that
hey, Adana, sorry. All right, thank you. Divine, are you done now?
Yes, I'm not really sure meaning.
Okay, what about the implied meaning now?
The implied meaning is that it's kind of almost the same thing as the literal meaning. It just means that she was, afraid at this at
Okay,
the
this implies that Usani, all right, somebody has something there. Usani was maybe, should I use deathly? No, I wouldn't use that. Was
terrified.
so terrified. Okay, we could use that. All right, thank you. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, somebody has sent something in the chat box. The person says the phrase is contradictory. Martin, I don't know which phrase you're referring to. Okay, Dana has
It means
apologized.
unpleasantly surprised.
Okay. For this
Kind of like an
unpleasantly surprised.
oxymoron.
All right, unpleasantly surprised. Okay, so you could actually do that, but one thing you shouldn't do and think you get marks for it is this. Since they want you to pick words that are imagistic, some students, like the ones I marked, the international students just did, some of them wrote that the writer has appealed to the sense of sight, has appealed to the sense of hearing. That does not give you any mark. If you identify the figure of speech of a particular phrase, it does not give you any mark. It only tells your examiner that you actually know what you're doing. Okay, it does not give you any mark. So do not try to crowd your response with such irrelevant additions, not giving attention to what is very key. Do you understand that? Okay, thank you so far, Marty. Thank you for that. Now, we are actually done with what is required first. But the last thing to do to have your full marks is to have what we call the general effect, the general overview. So now, looking at these three that we have said, what would you say about Wusani's experience? Is there anything you can say? Divine.
That it wasn't a good one at all. That she was, frightened during the whole situation.
All right, frightening. Now, don't you think that this presents
Her
Wusani,
experience.
Wusani as somebody who has like a sense of humor, okay? Because it seems that she was melodramatic, somebody who had a sense of humor. She was melodramatic. It just like a cartoon-like stuff, gravity. pulls the fat woman, okay, the very fat woman down. Boom. It's something laughable, ludicrous, ridiculous also. Don't you think so?
Well, yeah, kind of, because like she was kind of used like as like a comic sort of character in the
Aha.
passage.
Okay, thank you everybody. We have come to the tail of this, and now we want to see the masking to see if actually we've made the right choices, and then if we have given the literal meaning and the um, the implied meaning. So let's look at this. Decrepit, spluttering truck, correct. Back, correct. Made the aging truck suspension creak ominously, very correct. Then particularly disliked, another one. Unpleasantly surprised, any less terrifying, improbably perched, adrenaline had fueled the climb, gravity's pull resolved the issue, saved from serious harm. These are all of them, and they're up to, how many are they? There are many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you have 10. And out of 10, the examination requires that you just explain 3. You get? So train yourself to select more than the required so that you pick the ones that you can easily explain. Now, we're going to focus on the ones we've picked. And so one of them is the very first one is improbably perched. Okay, let's take that. So unpleasantly surprised is the first one. So let's see now. Had suddenly heard the lion. She never expected it. That means divine, you're correct. She never expected it. Had suddenly heard the lion. Actually, likely to have been more shocked and scared. Understated to suggest the reaction was in fact extreme. It was extreme. So it means that if I were to mark this that divine has given to us, this one, she got the first one, the literal meaning, and then she tells us that this overly bears her dismay, calm emotion. And then this implies that Usani was so terrified. Okay, so she in a way has touched on the fact that her reaction was extreme. So I would say that if I were to mark this, I will give her have a mark for the identifying the phrase, have a mark for the literal meaning, and then have a mark for this. So you have 1 full mark for this. So bravo, well done. We now move to this next one, which is improbably perched. Let's see how the masking expects us to explain that. Where is it? Improbably perched. Okay, I've seen it. For this one, let me make this, all right. For this one, we have this image. It is imagistic. She is stuck up the tree on a very thin branch, has gone to the highest, what Prince George was trying to express in his own words, has gone to the highest, furthest branch she could. Precarious, that is dangerous. Ridiculous picture, comparing her unfavorably to a bird. So it means that we got this one. We also got this. So let's see. Also, the writer has used the phrase improbably perched, which tests us, okay? Which tests us that Wusani climbed up the tree when she bumped into the lion, stuck from the masking, stuck on the tree. She did this out of fear. You're expanding. Surprisingly, she sits. Oh, sorry, we should have used past tense. You know, I was in a haste. She sat on a weak branch of a long dead tree. This presents a precarious, we've captured that, dangerous position. The phrase, moreover, tells us that her position on the tree was unexpected. This phrase has further been used to favorably compare Uzani to a bird. So we've captured it because of the word perched. Do you understand? So this is another 1 full mark for this person who has done this. The last one is the one that Adana explained. Let's now see. Adana, are you set for yours? All right, let's see. Gravity's pull resolved the issue. Now the literal meaning is that she fell. The literal meaning is that she fell. So she fell down from the tree. Humor, as it implies rather than describes the event. It implies rather than describes the event. So we go back to what Adana gave us. Gravity's pull resolved the issue means that Wusani, after hurriedly climbing up the tree, fell down. We've got that first one. Her fall apparently shows the verity in the law of gravity we're expanding, which states that anything which goes up must come down. Actually, if I were to be the examiner, I'll give her full marks here because she expanded on it. And if you check the mass scheme stops somewhere. She fell down from the tree. Humor captured, as it implies, it suggests, okay, rather than describes the event. So I would say we have done a good job on this. We have done a good job. And I believe the majority of us in this class have got a hang of approaching this. And then for the general effect, which is the last one before we call it today, the general effect is cartoon-like. You just imagine, you need to picture it. A fat woman climbs, just imagine how she will climb up the tree. Is it even possible for a fat woman to climb up the tree very fast? And then she sits on a dead branch and then she falls. Imagine what would happen when the lion, sees her fall, or witnesses her fall. What would happen? Okay, so the general effect is cartoon-like with a stereotypical figure and exaggerated comic actions. That's why I told you that this lady was just melodramatic. Okay, and that's why I don't like watching Z Word, because Z Word characters, they are just melodramatic characters. I don't like it. I get bored. This creates humor at Wuzani's expense. I guess this is clear, right? Divine, is this clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys, I want to say a very big thank you to everybody. In the course of this lesson, we have been able to look at how to select powerful words phrases. We did it together, and then we tried to analyze the writer's language choices. Okay, we explained. We tried to explain why the writer used the language choices. So I want to say a very big thank you to everybody, and I say God bless you. Please, the assignment is this. I already told you guys, and you're not writing, okay? Just give me the points. Identify all the points in this. You have this material with you already. I've sent it to you guys. Peter's journey to the bush camp in paragraph 9. Just extract all the points as we earlier did. List them and then send to me. When we meet on Thursday, we'll go into it and then do the same thing that we have done. All right? Any questions before we call it a day? Prince George, any questions? Martin, no. Any questions?
No questions.
All right, so expecting your responses. Please, the deadline for the points only is tomorrow. Tomorrow, okay? Before the lesson. Thank you, guys. So, Baya, thank you for coming, for the lesson. God bless you all.